Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry it took a minute to get up and running. Apparently, my internet is wanting to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather as well because it wouldn't do anything. So, thank you for joining us today. And as you can see, we have Chris Zurich, our SAD coordinator, with us. Chris, thanks for joining me.
As always, a pleasure.
And today we're going to talk about yet another initiative that we have from Missouri SAD, which is Students Against Destructive Decision. And that is our Please Return on Monday, which is our prom campaign to encourage safe prom. And Chris is going to launch this and tell us all about it. So go ahead, Chris.
All right, well, thanks, Alicia. As Alicia mentioned, this is our prom campaign, which stands for Please Return on Monday. And this is one of SAD's program opportunities for student leaders to engage with to ensure that all of the attendees at your community's prom, your school's prom, are safely returning home on Monday. Now, Missouri launched this campaign with our creative juices flowing last year and are excited to have a rebranded version of it this year using a lot of our lessons learned to make sure that we're engaging not only your students, but we've got your parents and your school's community involved in this process because we know it takes a village, and that's how we have rebuilt this program for you this year. Few little facts about our proms here in the United States. We know this is a very influential time for students. It's kind of a rite of passage, but we also know that the consequences of poor decisions during this time can be some of the most influential in your life as well. About 35% of traffic crashes result in death. It's one of the leading causes of death for teenagers. When teenagers are fully under the influence, so BAC of over 0.08, they're 17% more likely to be in a car accident. Between the season of prom and graduation, that kind of March through May period of time, there's about 1,000 preventable deaths with youth on highways. It's 1,000 young lives lost every prom through graduation season. And when we talk about students who are drinking, 53% of those students are reporting that they're binge drinking. So that is 4 or more drinks. That is an absolutely unacceptable amount. And you can imagine that when students are engaged in binge drinking and they are behind the wheel, you've already noted there, 0.08%, 17% more likely to be in a crash. Well, the prom campaign is here to share this information with our students and make sure that they have the resources and the understanding to make very safe, very healthy decisions before, during, and after prom. So the prom campaign stands for Please Return on Monday, and it's our statewide initiative for the prom season. We know that the opportunities for students with alcohol and drugs and even risky sexual behaviors happens during that prom season. And when you mix any of these bad activities with late night driving, it simply exacerbates the problem. We also know that it's those unsupervised moments that typically happen before and after prom that are some of the riskiest for students to engage in that kind of behavior. So our goals through this program are to make sure that we have a direct to attendee method of communication, that we engage all those school and community leaders, and that we reduce that percentage of students engaging in that risky behavior. So let's talk about what these activities are that are part of our prom campaign to make sure that we're meeting this campaign's goals. Our before prom initiatives are a twofold process. We have a letter writing campaign, and then we have floral tux and dress cards. The letter writing campaign is designed to engage elementary and middle school students in writing messages encouraging those attendees at prom to engage in safe, healthy behaviors and to be role models for that future generation. This all happens before prom. We provided you a template letterhead where students can actually write directly on that letterhead. So you're able to print this out, provide it to your elementary and middle school students in your community. They write those letters, and then you include those letters when students purchase their tickets for prom. So they're actually going to get a custom, unique letter written by a student. This is not a form letter. This is not something generic. This is a real message from a real student in your community. So they really have a much greater impact. You can also encourage students to draw on the back if you're talking about younger students. You can change up this letterhead a little bit if you need line spacing to be bigger. If you're talking about maybe first and second grade students, you have a lot of ability to customize this. But the intent is that you're engaging a larger audience in your school and you're making sure it's a real heartfelt message going to those prom attendees. So this serves as really an initial big reminder right at the beginning of prom season, right as they're purchasing their tickets, that they understand the consequences of their bad decisions.
I like this too of the younger eyes are watching you. And so be a good role model as well. That's a great message.
Definitely so. And it can even be expanded if you know that you have maybe specific attendees at your prom who have younger siblings. You can even match those letters up and you can make that a really much stronger connection when it's their own maybe brother or sister who wrote that letter for them. So lots of customization there. But again, we've got a letter template for you so you can print that, and this can be ready to go right now. You could head to our website right now and start printing that, and that campaign can already be, or that element of this campaign can already be running. The other half of our before prom is floral tux and dress cards. So what these are actual physical cards that you can order from us through Missouri SAD and ACT Missouri, and they are designed to actually be attached to either a boutonniere or corsage box from a local florist, tux rental bags from wherever a student might be renting their tux. And if you have places that sell dresses for prom season, you can also have them attached to those dresses as well at the point of purchase. And what these are just an initial reminder about the dangers that can occur during prom season. And on the back is 4 quick tips for students to make sure that they remember some safe, healthy ways to navigate prom season. This includes riding safe, making sure you never get in a car with somebody who's under the influence, having a plan and reviewing that plan with your family for what you're doing after prom, knowing and respecting the rules that your family sets out and your school. And then, as always, call 911 if you notice somebody who's under the influence getting behind the wheel. Don't let them get in that car. Call 911 immediately. We also have a tagline for this year's program, which if you can see here, some things just don't add up. Cars plus booze equals a big no. So we're excited to bring a tagline to this year's campaign as well. So these cards are available to order. So they are double-sided cards that are easy to attach. They don't have to punch holes in anything, so they can be quickly adhered to any of those items. We also have a printable template. So if you want to do these on your own and customize them, a printable version is available for you. And we'll talk about how you can order these materials a little bit later on in the campaign.
I really like that we're not focusing on like scaring or anything like that. It's just about providing education and the correct choices for our youth to make as opposed to the incorrect choices.
Certainly, yep. And again, this all occurs before prom. Students picking up their tux usually a few days before for that last fitting. Young ladies are probably out there grabbing their dresses right now, hitting the store shelves. So this is something that you can get out and communicate with people before. And then when it comes to picking up your florals for prom, you're probably doing that the day before, the day of. So if they're adhered to that, they're another quick reminder right at that moment. For some students, they might be seeing this twice then when they get their dress and when they get their flower. So some really cool opportunities there. We tried to keep them clean and bright and happy, as Alicia mentioned. They're not a scare tactic. It's a reminder on some safe actions, some safe ways to attend prom. Now, during prom, we do have an opportunity to engage staff and chaperones and even your greater community as a whole. The staff and chaperone stickers that are available are meant to be worn during prom that remind students to simply please return on Monday. Now, these are not meant for the students to wear. They're meant for the staff and chaperones at prom to wear. You can download a template for these stickers, and it's meant to be printed directly on an Avery template that's very affordable for you. And you can also give these to local restaurants that you know students are eating at during prom. If you want to get them to your florists so that there's really that opportunity for students to see this logo and see this more and more and more and more, feel free to use these as absolutely much as you want to. We've got everything available for you for those stickers. So it's something very simple to do. If you take nothing else from this campaign, grab this template, go ahead and print it out, and you are ready to go. We also have an initiative that takes a little bit more time, but can have a really great larger impact. And as you can see, it is a beautiful sunny day. The sun is starting to come in just a little bit further here. I'm gonna change that a little bit. These staff and chaperone photo posters are available for you to order as well. These are posters that encourage your staff and chaperones at your prom to get their own prom photos from when they were a student. All those students safely returned home from prom, obviously, and adhere those to this sign so that students can go up and they can find their favorite teacher, that impactful teacher or chaperone, and see them during prom and recognize that, you know, all those photos really mean nothing if you don't come back on Monday to be able to show them. So it's a really cool opportunity to add something to your prom. This can be also used well before prom. If you want to place it up where ticket sales are or in a prominent place in your school, you can have this up considerably longer, but it's designed to be showed directly at prom so that students have another opportunity to be engaged. Order form for that also available. And again, we'll show you a little bit later on how to get that. Now, after prom, we have made a huge change this year. So we're really excited to show off our new social media challenges, but many of our schools are already conducting our other activity for after prom, which is Project Prom. Now, this is an after school or after prom lock-in that keeps students in your school building or in a community building throughout the night, providing them with great opportunities for engagement and activity and fun so they can celebrate prom in a very safe, controlled environment. We've provided you with a form letter to reach out to local businesses and community members to try to get prizes and activities donated to make the event happen. It is branded on our prom letterhead, so it's a great way to also still be sharing that message even out into the community, so they're seeing that consistent branding element there. This is something that does take a lot of planning, and we're really excited that we're launching this program a few weeks earlier this year so that you can grab that and go ahead and get started in your local community. And we're happy to provide you with technical support for making a project prom happen. Now, we know some schools have a project graduation or some sort of a graduation lock-in that they're already doing. And that is, you know, another very influential time that students are at a similar risk. If you don't have either of those activities, though, now's a great time to get started planning a project prom. Now, you don't have to do this as a really massive event. Think about what might already exist in your community you can use. See if a movie theater will donate a theater or two where students can spend 2 hours watching a movie. See if there's a bowling alley in your community where you can rent for an hour or two or get that donated. You know, there is 4 hours of an evening activity or an overnight activity right there. Mix in some transportation and some food and maybe a hypnotist or a local band or something. You can easily fill the time without having to make this a super large scale event. So get creative, have some fun. If you need technical assistance, we're happy to help you with that. Our big initiative for after prom that we've added this year, and I want to give a huge shout out to our youth ambassadors, which are student prevention leaders that we have statewide here in Missouri, who created these campaigns for us for our prom campaign this year. We have 2 social media challenges this year that are encouraging students to arrive home safely. The first is a campaign that actually engages parents or guardians, and that is the hashtag prom pull-in. And this is encouraging parents to create the most exciting and fun arrival for their students coming back from prom. So maybe that's setting up a movie night with popcorn and candy and nachos. So when they get back, you've set up a whole movie night for them. Maybe you even have a big movie night in your backyard with all of their friends. So they have a safe and fun place to celebrate. Maybe you've got 50 confetti cannons, and as they're pulling in, your whole neighborhood is shooting them off as they're driving down. Whatever it is, have fun, get creative, and it's a great way to engage parents. Our other campaign, though, engages students, which is the Prom to PJs. So this is for students to take the most creative and fun pajama selfie when they're getting home from prom. So showing off all on social media that, hey, I arrived home safely. So we have 2 really cool social media challenges this year, and we're excited to see these hashtags throughout your school's proms. Now, of course, tag Act Missouri and tag SAD and tag your school. Make these go viral in your communities. If you want to have some real fun, get prizes for them. And maybe the posts that get the most likes or that are the most creative can maybe win some prizes from your local community. You know, with the Prom to PJs campaign, see if there's a mattress store in your community that might be willing to sponsor that, or a home goods store. For Prom Poland, reach out to your local car dealerships or insurance companies. You know, these are great, easy, logical connections. See if they'll get a prize for you to really be able to celebrate these campaigns online. So again, kudos, youth ambassadors, for coming up with this project for the year. We do ask for a little bit of reporting for participating in our prom campaign. That'll include a brief summary of how you participated in our campaign, some estimates on how many students participated, and we always appreciate the opportunity to have photos that we can showcase what all of our schools are doing out there in the community. This program is not limited to SAD chapters. As with everything that we launch, we'd love for you to be a part of Missouri SAD, but this program is open to all of our schools across the state of Missouri, so feel free to grab this program. We do ask that reporting be turned in by May 15th so that we can start that celebration of everyone who participated online. If you are interested in learning more about our prom campaign for the year, you can see our URL here, actmissouri.org/sad/prom. There you can download a campaign guidance document, a multi-page document with lots of tips and tricks, direct hyperlinks to all order forms, so you're able to order things directly, and instant downloads of all of our campaign materials. If you do order anything from us, those posters, those tags and things, that is all going to arrive before your prom, but those deadlines will approach in February. So make sure you get your orders in. It is entirely free of charge. I want to thank our friends with the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety and MoDOT for making that possible. All of those materials, this entire campaign, entirely free of charge for your school to participate in. So we want to thank you for joining us for this live announcement, and we really look forward to our schools participating and making sure that all of our students have a safe, fun, and healthy prom.
It's hard to believe that we're talking about prom already and graduation, but it's going to be here before we know it. The one question that I have, and that I think that folks might have as well, is do they have to do all of the components, or can they just pick and choose what they want? Obviously, we want them to do all of the components, but if they don't have the capacity to do it, can they pick and choose the ones that they can do?
Absolutely. This is, while we've designed it as 6 activities, 2 before, 2 during, and 2 after, pick and choose what works for you. So I mentioned at the beginning, if you just want to do the letter writing campaign, grab that element. That's perfectly fine. It's ready for you right now. You now have the link, so you could start printing right now. And that's perfectly fine. If you just want to order the tags from us, that's fine. Just want to do the social media, that's fine. You want to do all 6, we certainly appreciate it. And just know, no matter how you participate, it's your participation that matters. And we're going to celebrate everyone who participates equally out on our social media. We'll tag your schools, we'll tag your SAD chapters, and make sure that we really celebrate all the great work that our programs are doing out there for our students.
That's great. Okay. And again, the main goal here is to make sure that our youth do stay safe during prom, and I will just go ahead and throw in graduation. Like that's our main goal, is to make sure that everyone stays safe. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun while we get the education piece out as well. So with that being said, thank you again for joining us. We have a lot of exciting things that we've announced over the past couple weeks, and that's just amazing. I'm so glad that we're able to offer this to Missouri. So again, thank you.
Thank you all, and we'll look forward to seeing your participation.
And everyone have a great, I guess I can say, weekend, since we're at Thursday. Enjoy your Friday and have a good weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks.